Hello everyone, today we'll be ranking every dot game in Piggyverse first edition Blast to the Past. I will not be ranking on the games themselves, but the event chapter or part dot that the game made for the event. For example, if the game in general is really bad, but the event chapter is really good, I will put it at a higher place on the ranking. Also, I would like to remind everyone that this is my opinion, so please don't hate on me in the comments. Without further ado, let's begin with the tier list. To start, we have the lobby connecting all of the games in one place.
The lobby doesn't have the much going on, but it looks really accurate to something Minitoon would create.
And just for that, the lobby goes in C tier. Really, that's all I have to say. Let's go to the next game.
Piggy, Desolate Disruption. Now, I didn't and did like this game at the same time. The story is little brother hacks out computer and teleport us into it and tries to kill us.
The thing I love about this is that it's a boss fight and little brother has lots of cool attacks. The thing I don't like is that they used maps just from Piggy and didn't create their own. And also the mechanics can be a little buggy sometimes, but I really love the music and cutscenes that this game has.
But after thinking about it, I decided to put this in A tier on the tier list. Anyway, let's move on.
This game, by far, was the laziest in my opinion. The story, map, music, and cutscenes were all absolutely terrible. I do think the main game is good, but this just sucks. Not to mention the terrible AI of the bot and also the annoying mechanics, like the OBS or typing to open events. Also the stupid music that kept playing on repeat, that got so annoying but it finished once. And for all of those things combined, I'm putting this in the lowest tier, otherwise known as D tier.
Anyway, I'm glad I'm done talking about this game. Let's move on to the next game.
Going from really bad to really good, we have easily my favorite game in the event, Piggy Intensity. You can tell the devs put their heart and soul into making this event with the sound effects, mechanics, and animations. I mean bro, just look at this. I even loved both of the mini games with George.
Anyway, if I talked about everything I loved about this game, we would be here all day. So that's why this is easily an S tier game. So let's move on to the next game.
I really like this game's addition to the event. This game has the best story out of any game in the event by far. I love the music, designs, cutscenes too.
The only bad thing I could say about this is that the last two gameplay sections can get very boring after beating it once. Really, I think isn't bad, but it isn't good either, so I'm going to put it in B tier.
Anyway, let's move on to the next game. I think Case 131 did a really good job at making an enjoyable experience. On that note, however, the last part with the phones and doors code should have been way easier for newer players. And also this chapter story is practically the definition of mid. The cutscenes are way too long in my opinion, for not being super good.
Once you understand the code part at the end, I do think the event for this game has tons of replayability.
Anyway, I'm not gonna yap about this game any longer, and I'm gonna give it in a tier on the tier list. Let's move on to the next game. Piggy Towers. I feel like it failed to capture the theme of the event, to be honest.
For some reason they kept using the new designs instead old ones, and also I think the story is so bad that it's funny. And somehow little brother managed to build an entire new mech with trees and beds.
At this point, I'm not even going to question it, but the one thing that stops it from being D tier is that they gave new players actually good towers for the event. So since it's not D tier, it's C tier. Let's move on to the next game. I love and also hate this game's event.
I absolutely love the beginning part with the codes and at the end with the chase scene.
But the middle part of it is just so plain and boring, just combining a whole bunch of piggy maps together. Also the first part of picking the door, play to hard, and turns into guess which door is correct, because if you get it wrong 2 times you start over. But I love some of the mechanics they added in, like the rope, carrot, and train. And also the story kinda sucks too, but it is at least a little interesting. So after thinking about it, I decided to put it in B tier. To me this game is just mid. Anyway, moving on. I think the Insane series did a really good job for their event, but there are a few things that I want to mention that stops it from being S tier. First of, I kinda feel like they should have made a new map instead of the old classic hospital.
Second is that they keep putting events in the school chapter, which isn't really their fault, but it's starting to get annoying.
The third and final thing, and also the main reason I feel that the code in the school chapter is way too hard for newer players to figure out. This could also go for getting the glitch key instead of escaping immediately in classic hospital. Anyway, those were the main reasons I wanted to cover, and I decided to put this in a tier anyway. Let's move on to the final game. I will admit it, I do think that part 1 of Carts, otherwise known as Willow Raid, is better than part 2 of Piggy's Miserability, but I'm not saying it's an S tier game either, especially the mini game with Kona. It's very confusing for newer players, and the parts where Willow goes to old Piggy maps are just super plain in my opinion. However, the last mini game with different characters popping up from different fan games, in my opinion, is the best mini game the whole event. After going over all of these factors, however, I decided to put it in a tier, which then means every game is now ranked and put in a spot. Anyways guys, that will be my full tier list of the event until part 2 comes out, which then I will make another tier list of just part 2 games. Remember to subscribe if you want to be updated on all Piggyverse news, drama, karma or videos. See you guys in the next video.